So, you know what's crazy about this whole copyright situation that I've talked about before, where, it's an unfortunate reality that as much as we want to fight it or debate it and try to basically get our share of the pie, the revenue pie off it, that the unfortunate truth is, those that created it, released it, and all that, the labels, the studios and all that, they have first dibs at making money off it than we do. Yeah, that's an unfortunate truth. But you know what's even crazier though? You know what's even crazier? Is sometimes there's stuff out there that you would think would get copyrighted, but it doesn't. And that's the unusualness about, places like YouTube, Dailymotion, Viemo, BitChute, you name it. It's like you can use something that's copyrighted alongside, but if you use something that's so far not copyrighted, there's a chance that you'll be fine. You'll be okay. And for me, when it comes to me doing fan vids, on my channel, basically, like the ones that are upcoming, like, the ones I upgraded today, I'm either going to get a share option, like what you see there, or I'm going to get an on option, which says, hey, I can make money off it. And it's not just that either. Sometimes I can use visual images, like moving pictures, if you will, like from SAT-AM, MLP, FIM, stuff like that. And, depending on the song, I'll be fine. And it's so weird. It's so weird that that's possible, but I think there's a reason. You see, I believe honestly, some studios may have talked with Google and YouTube and realized that, hey, if somebody uses an uncopyrighted public domain song, a song that's gone into public domain for a creative AMV, fan vid, PMV, whatever you want to call it, then, there shouldn't be any reason to copyright it, because if you're copywriting it, yes, you're copywriting the visualness, but you're also copywriting something that you really don't have a right to copyright over. So maybe they work something out to where, hey, you're getting attention for your product, but there shouldn't be so you shouldn't have a reason to copyright it, especially if the song that they're using is either of their own accord or it's something that's in public domain. And that's what's interesting, because, what I'm trying to say is, okay, almost got tongue twisted there. But what I'm trying to say is that's what's interesting, because when you look at the fact that a majority of the time when you use songs for PMVs, pony music videos, AMVs, anime or animated music videos, or fan vids, if it's like a music video that's, just has images on there, like from a comic or something, what's crazy is, most times when you use a song, that video is going to get copyrighted. And like I said earlier, the unfortunate truth is those that copyright it have first dibs at making money instead of you. But then you have songs like Flying Dreams, which has been associated with The Secret of Nim. You have The Future Is Now, Robotech, the movie. Right back where we started from, remake by Cleopatra. That you have that. And, then you even have I Do Believe from Cats Don't Dance. These are songs that anybody that's a fan of animation or multimedia, period, acknowledges and realizes are associated with these properties. But because of the fact that they have not been seen or heard from for years, if not decades, you know what's happened to them? They've gone into obscurity. That's right. They've gone into obscurity. They've gone into what Matt Brunette, Animat, if you will, said about Gulliver's Travels. Back from the 1930s. It went into public domain, so you could put it onto your channel if you wanted to. Put it onto your channel in some shape or form and make money off it. Potentially, there's a good chance you could. Maybe, or there's a good chance you won't, because already people have by the dozens already uploaded it, but you get the idea. But when you apply the obscurity of these songs and public domain to them, it's surprising that they would even end up in that category. Because these songs come off of soundtracks that, were released by established, well-renowned labels like RCA, WB, Atlantic, you name it. They're very established IPs. These IP labels, I should say, that these songs, these remakes and all that came off of. But yet, when it comes to YouTube, you're either sharing a revenue or you're making revenue, and that's what's crazy. I mean, I look through. Here's the thing: I have so many fan vids on my channel. Most of them are copyrighted. Some of them are copyrighted, some of them are partially blocked in other territories, ones that are pretty much known for blocking YouTube content and everything. And then there are some that are eligible to be, have money made off them, and yet they involve songs that you would think should be copyrighted, but they're not. And I know that, honestly, I'm not the only one that's, been, caught off guard by this, because there's a lot of people that, have done fan vids, they've done PMVs, they've done AMVs, and I'm pretty sure when they look at, the potential of monetizing it, they find out that either they can't, or they'll be surprised that they can, because, maybe the song is public domain or so obscure that, it does, nobody really laid claim to it. And, it's that kind of craziness, it's that kind of unusualness with places like YouTube, Viemo, Dailymotion, and all them, that really kind of gets under the skin of some of the content creators that uses them to upload the content on their sites, because they don't know whether or not they're going to make revenue or they're aren't going to make revenue because of the song or whatever they use. But what's crazy is you can, like I said earlier, you can use, or I tried to say earlier in the first attempt, I think, first take on this video that I had to, delete, and now I'm redoing. But what's crazy is sometimes you could use a visual moving picture, like let's say from Friendship is Magic, Sad AM, and all that. And then if you use that image or various images alongside a song that's obscured in public domain, like, there's a good chance you may or may not get copyrighted, and the only reason you would get copyrighted and partially copyrighted is because of the visuals, and that's it. But again, it's so crazy. It's just so crazy to see that, when you do this creative stuff, that when you use certain songs, whether it's of your own accord, or it's something like, let's say, Flying Dreams, Future Is Now, and all that, there's a good chance that even with the visuals you're using, you're going to get some revenue back. All because of the fact that those songs are public domain. They are public domain. Now, here's the thing. Is there a chance those songs, could get copyrighted in the near future? Absolutely. Absolutely. And what that means in the near future is you could get copyrighted claimed, and the revenue you were making would go straight to the people that, now own that song or now claim copyright on that song. But it's so crazy. But the thing is, it's so crazy, and sometimes, and like I said, sometimes it's that one thing that really drives the content creators, just bat shit crazy. Excuse my language, God, but bat shit crazy, because they don't know what they're going to get. They don't know what they're going to get. I mean, when they use an already established IP of a song, like let's say of something that came out today or this year, yeah, there's a good chance they're going to get copyrighted, but they still will have the video seen publicly. They just won't be able to make money off the video, because the ones making the money off the video is the copyright claimers, the labels and all that, the artist. But here, when you have songs like Flying Dreams and all that, it's just really like, it's a gamble. And most times with those kind of songs, Flying Dreams, Future Is Now and all that, and I Do Believe and, in other songs, there's a good chance you're either going to share or you're going to make. And that's it. You're either going to share the revenue or you're going to make the revenue. And, and the way I look at it, honestly, one way is, when you look at it either way is what I'm trying to say, is it really doesn't matter because it's a win-win. You're going to make money either way, whether you're sharing it or you're making it on your own. But look, I know this video sounded a little ramblish and a little out of sorts, and everything. That's what happens when you do things unscripted and you have the past 24 hours be one of the more unusual, unpredictable 24 hours you can have for quite some time. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about this because, again, if there is one thing that really drives content creators up the freaking wall, if there is one thing that drives them up the freaking wall, mind you, it's the fact that basically you don't know whether you are or not going to make money off your video, depending on the images and stuff you use to, watch that, to create that video. You don't know what you're going to get. And that's what's confusing. That's what, again, drives fans up the wall. Not just fans, but content creators up the walls. You never know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to make the money or you don't, especially depending on the songs you may or may not use for, let's say, a project, like a fan vid or a project that involves music for certain intervals of that project. But I just wanted to come on here and just, talk about it because, again, it's just really surprising, that yes, most of the time you will get copyrighted claim, which unfortunately means that you will not have first dibs at making money. The claimers will. But when it comes to other songs, you're either sharing or you're making. And that's all I can really say about it. But let me know what your thoughts are. I know this sounds a little more confusing and convoluted than it should, but let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check out the Teespring store, check me out at Patreon at Brian Wilmer, BW Rosas, as well as check me out on BW Rosas Discussions, and all your favorite audio podcast locations, except for Pandora, still working on that. As well as check me out at Viemo, I should say, at BW Rosas, where you can find PMVs and fan vids that will either be completely, more than likely completely blocked here, depending on the song that's utilized. So, for example, you can find the original Speed Me Up fan vid that I did last year, for Sonic Sat AM at my Viemo channel. So until next time, though, guys, take care. God bless. And I'll talk to y'all later. But let me know what your thoughts are.